Paul, we're going to move from sketches to musicals because you're hitting the road, aren't you, with Only Fools and Horses?
That's right, Chris. Yeah, back on the road.
Back on the road.
Only Fools and Horses. And, I mean, I'm not a musical expert, or, as you might know if you've seen it and heard some of my songs. But it was a joy to do, and it was quite daunting, obviously, because it's Only Fools and Horses.
Absolutely. You know? How nervous were you?
I know, blimey.
Something that is so loved by the whole nation, and you've got to make a different version of it.
Well, I know.
But you wrote it with John Sullivan's son, yeah?
Well, the thing about it is, Chris, tragically, John Sullivan had the notion of doing it as a musical just before he died. And Jim Sullivan came to me with the producer and said, look, it was it's my dad's last wish to try and get this thing off the ground. And of course, the wonderful thing about it is you've got 20 years worth of incredible material to plunder. And I suppose it was more of a case of adapting it. And we pieced it together with help from a brilliant director, CJ Ranger. She was fantastic. And it's just a celebration of Only Fools. But, it's funny, you know, we were talking about sketch shows and catchphrases, and Only Fools has become almost a collection of catchphrases, isn't it? You plonker, lovely jubbly. These chairs are a rather interesting shade of green. That's the famous one.
You play Grandad and Uncle Albert in it. You play Grandad in the first half, is that right? And Uncle Albert in the second half. Which is your favourite?
Well, to be honest, I get to sit down as Grandad, so that's my favourite.
Yeah.
But no, he was like a lot more sympathetic, Grandad. All right, dear boy. You probably don't know, but that was an absolutely perfect.
It was. Do you know the voice?
Leonard Pierce.
The voices in this are fantastic. Give us your Uncle Albert.
All right, dear boy. I go, during the war. During the war. And that's all you have to... I really ham it up as Uncle Albert. It's not fair, really. Yeah. But coming on at the end and doing Uncle Albert during the war is a good laugh.
Let's talk quickly about fishing, because it'd be mad not to, wouldn't it? But you've got Series 7 coming up with Bob, haven't you?
Yes, with young Robert, yeah.
And it'd be ridiculous to ask you if you enjoy making the show, because it's obvious, you know, just by the two of you together, it's a joy to make, yeah?
It's an absolute joy, Chris, but don't tell anyone that. Right?
Yeah.
OK?
And the thing is, Bob, we all love Bob. He's a comedy legend, you know, but in small doses. But is he exhausting to spend all day with?
No, he makes a lovely cup of tea on the riverbank, and he's the funniest bloke, you know. I mean, to me, he's up there with my comedy heroes. I was a fan of Dick and Bob. You know, I used to go and see him in the early days and do little bits on Novelty Island, but I used to go and see him as a fan, you know. Well,
I can tell you that, gone fishing, mate, you've not only made fishing fun to watch, but you've made it fun to listen to, because I even enjoy just sitting there listening to you fish, which you wouldn't have thought it would have made a good radio sport. OK, so there we have it. Only Fools and Horses is hitting the road on a national tour. It's fantastic. Go and get your tickets now.